So hey everybody, this is actually my video blog. I am really excited about it because I just hope that it's a way for me to be able to communicate more clearly with all of you at home, especially those who are in the United States or in Europe or the Philippines or Africa or whoever is watching, especially here in YWAM Perth, in Perth, Australia as well. So I'm just really excited about it. I hope that you like it. I'm going to try to be as fun and as exciting as I can be, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I just want to tell you again, like, what this blog is going to be about. It's just going to be a way for me to communicate things that are going on here in Perth, Australia, as well as revelations that I might have received just from learning more about God, my time here, things like that. I'll do, fun interviews as well with people that I work with on a regular basis, and just hope that you really get to learn more about what I'm doing here in Perth, Australia. Is what's been going on this last month here in Perth. So I just want to go ahead and share a little bit about what's been happening. There's been incredible things that have been going on base. And the first thing is the missions conference. That was actually something that happened about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was a great time of just gaining clarity and confirmation and direction for our calling into missions. We had sessions, I think we had about 4 sessions a day for a full week. So it was really exciting to see that there are so many different missionaries that have come before us to go out into the world and to share the gospel. We learned about people like Amy Carmichael and William and Catherine Booth and William Carey and people like that, just about how they kind of led the way and paved the road for us as modern missions and modern missionaries to go out and to share the gospel into the nations. It just was really cool to see the transition and the transformation that came from what these missionaries did. It was pretty incredible. So it just really encouraged me to know that, I can do just as much with what God has given me to do and what He's telling me to do in the nations, just like they did, hundreds of years ago. One of the other things that God spoke to me during the conference was really just an understanding of how powerful God really is to move in people's lives individually. He made it very clear to me that this was a time for me to reflect on all that He has done in my life, and knowing where He's brought me from and how He's brought me out of so much darkness and just unclarity and uncertainty into the light of knowing what my future is about, what He has for me and what He has planned for my life. So I'm terribly excited about that and just really thankful and grateful for God and what He's done in my life. And I look forward to seeing what else He has for me in that time. Also, we have the finishing up of the April quarter schools for their 3-month lecture phase, and now they're all off to go on outreach in places like Nepal and Africa and Southeast Asia, as well as places here in Australia. And today actually is Sunday, the first Sunday in July, and that actually is the first day of the start of the July quarter schools. So basically what that means is we have almost 150 students coming in to partake in discipleship training schools and second level schools for the July quarter. So for the next 3 months, they'll be in lectures to learn more about the character and nature of God, as well as worship and intercession, forgiveness and repentance, God as Lord over our lives, and areas like evangelism as well. So there's lots of amazing things happening for this month as the start of the July quarter and for this whole season of time here at YWAM Perth. This is the interview section of my video blog. I'm going to be randomly having people from YWAM Perth or from Perth, Australia, just coming on and letting you get to know them just a little bit better. Now, these people are probably people that I know pretty well or am trying to get to know very well as they live with me, work with me, or interact with me on a daily basis. It's just to kind of let you in on a little bit more of what is going on here in Perth, Australia with me. So I have a guest today. His name is Luke Alstein, and he actually lives with me. So he's going to come on just now, and we're going to start the interview. How are you today, Luke?
I'm good. How are you, Seth?
I'm great. Why don't you say hello to everybody
Hello,
in YouTube
everybody.
land or whoever's watching. I just want to ask you a couple questions about you, just so people at home can get to know you. Is that okay?
Oh, that's awesome.
Wonderful.
Cool.
So the first question I have is, where are you from, Luke?
All right, I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack Go.
Yeah, buddy.
I think that's a football reference to the
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And is it true that you love cheese?
I do love cheese. Yeah.
Because that's where cheese comes from.
All cheese. That's where cheese was invented.
Pretty much God just said, let there be cheese, and it came from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. When did you do your discipleship training school with YWAM Perth?
I did my DTS, Discipleship Training School, last July, so a year ago, here at YWAM Perth.
Well, what is it that you exactly do here on the base as staff at YWAM Perth?
So I just got back from this trip called Mobilize, and we went across, our team went, we drove from Perth to Cairns. We drove all the way across Australia and went from Cairns, which is at the top, all the way down to Adelaide at the bottom, stopping at different cities that God put on our hearts, and going into schools and universities and churches, and just talked about missions and God's heart for missions, and how God wants to use our passions and callings in missions.
That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, you have a special degree.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
What is that?
I have a degree in music performance.
Which means he not only just plays the guitar, he does it really, really well. So, yeah, he's pretty amazing. Anyways, I have one final question for you, Luke. So if you could have a beak like a bird or feet like a gorilla, which would you choose and why?
Probably feet like a gorilla.
And why is that?
Because you could climb stuff. I think they can climb stuff with their feet. Or they climb trees and stuff.
Yeah,
and
they
you
do.
could probably eat with your feet.
Yeah, they do a lot with that.
That'd be cool. Like beak is, who needs a beak?
It's kind of useless, hey?
Yeah, you could, with a gorilla you could eat stuff.
That makes sense. Well, there you have it. This is Mr. Luke Alstein. We actually are roommates. He lives in my house and lives in my room.
Yep.
So we get to know each other quite well. But that's the interview portion for today. Yeah, we're just going to go back to the rest of the video blog. Next thing that I want to talk about is actually more personal. It was something that I mentioned on my teaser trailer blog about just sharing about what God has been doing in my life personally. And one of the things that God has been speaking to me about lately within this past week, and I know it will continue on in the future, is boundaries. Who likes to hug? I love to hug people. I hug people all the time. In fact, I consider hugging one of my love languages. But the truth is that not everybody likes to hug. And sometimes I find that out the hard way. But the whole point of that, though, is just to say that, having healthy boundaries with people extends to even something as simple as a hug. And just last weekend, God spoke to me and he actually said, Seth, I don't want you to hug anybody until I've told you that it's okay to hug people. And I was like, what are you talking about, God? That's ridiculous. Hugging people is wonderful. But in actuality, he really wanted me to learn better boundaries with people. And so after my confusion and anger and resentment and depression about the issue, because sometimes that's what happens when God speaks to us about things that we don't necessarily want to do. We feel all of those things in the midst of everything else that he's trying to show us. But after all of those negative feelings, I started to actually open up myself to actually receive from God what it is that he wanted me to know about boundaries. And I started praying, God, why did you tell me to do this? Why have you told me not to hug anybody? And so he was able to really share with me his heart on that. And I'm still learning. I'm still in the process of not hugging people. And sometimes it's difficult because I've had people come up to me and say, Seth, I really need a hug. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't give that to you right now. And they'd be like, why? And so I'd be able to explain to them what God is doing. And now that I'm actually able to be in a place of receiving revelation, God is going to speak, and he's going to speak very clearly about what he wants me to learn about the topic of boundaries. So I'm actually very excited now about what God is sharing with me in this area, and I look forward to sharing more revelation with you as I receive it. But the biggest revelation that I've received so far from that is that my self-worth does not come from how much I can give to other people. So it was really a slap in the face, but a good kind of slap in the face, because it was just able to help me understand that my self-worth and my importance in this world It does not come from the world. It does not come from the people that I hug. It doesn't come from what I'm able to do for someone else, and not be so worried about what other people think of me, what value they put on me, or what value I put on myself because of them. I just recommend taking time to ask God, do I have healthy boundaries in my relationships? And if not, how can I make them better? How can I work on this and have godly, healthy boundaries in my relationships at home, at work, at church, in my personal life, however they need to go. So maybe that's just something that you can ask God in your own personal quiet times. So I just look forward to continuing to share more about what God's doing with that. Also just want to say that, this video blog is going to be hopefully going once a week. Hopefully try to post once a week and see how things go with that. And I look forward to hearing comments from you guys. If you have any comments about things you'd like to see in my video blog or any questions, please feel free to contact me through my email, or you can contact me through messaging me on Facebook or through leaving comments through my YouTube account. I look forward to hearing from you, and I definitely want you guys to subscribe, so make sure that you subscribe to my blog. You just click on the link that is provided on the video here, and also probably down below. However I'll do it, I'm not sure yet, but just make sure that you click and subscribe. That way you know when the videos are coming in, so that you have more information about what I'm going through here in YWAM Perth, in Perth, Australia. Okay? So I look forward to hearing from you guys as well about this video blog, and just let me know of how I can better serve you guys through prayer as well. So prayer requests, subscribing to my blog, and also just giving me feedback. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. I love you all. God bless you, and have a great day.